and we are about to be joined by Eric Martins, third base coach for the Athletics. I just wanted to say this real quick. A little bit of more drama is coming out. Apparently, it was well known that Calvin Booth and Michael Malone did not like each other. The KCP stuff that we talked about earlier, they rarely spoke. They talked behind each other's backs. And with the team struggling on the court, Nuggets ownership decided to fire both of them. That's from Kevin O'Connor. So basically, if you watch reality TV, or how about everybody knows I love joking about The Bachelor or Bachelorette, and there's two contestants that keep getting into it. And whoever is the Bachelor, Bachelorette just says, hey, neither of you are kind of focused on me, so I'm saying goodbye to both of you. So that is what the Nuggets decided to do. We have more of that coming up here, but as promised, we are joined by Eric Martins, third base coach, also infielders coach for the Athletics. Eric, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Of course, and this is brought to you by Roxas Technology Solutions. Eric, let's start here. I was reading a little bit of your background. You played in the athletics organization. You became the third base coach a couple years ago. How has your connection to the athletics been with all of the things that have changed? Has it been kind of weird for you? Are you understanding of the business side of it all? How has it been with your history and your connection to the organization now being out here in Sacramento?
Well, I've seen it all, as a player, as a scout, and now as a coach. So I understand pretty much everything that goes around. And, I've been around during the drafts and stuff, how we evaluate players, how we, decide on which players we want to pick. And on the coaching side, how we, player development, how we're going to develop these players. And then just as a player, being in the organization and seeing how, the players that I played with that were part of that Moneyball team and stuff like that. That was my era. So it's been pretty crazy. It's been a fun ride. It's been kind of a full circle moment coming back to Sacramento because I opened this stadium in 2000 as a player. So here I am again. So it's just it seems to keep on going.
That's right. Can't stay away. Talking to Eric Martins, third base coach for the Athletics. Eric, second home series. How would you say the team is adjusting to being out here in Sacramento?
I think it's a lot easier now, man. I mean, honestly, the first series, it was just hectic. I mean, there was just people everywhere in our clubhouse.
Yeah.
We never had an opportunity to get a workout in here and just call it our home. We were just getting unpacked, getting ready to get on the road, just getting off the road and just getting from Arizona. We only had a day and a half once we left spring training to get here. We never got a workout in, walk into the new facility. There's hundreds of people walking around who we don't know. And I think now that we're back, we've kind of settled in a little bit, and now it's gonna be a lot better.
Talking to Eric Martins, our coaches show brought to you by Roxas Technology Solutions. So how would you say the vibe has been during the games? I'm so tired, Eric, of all of the pictures and screenshots. I haven't been to a game yet, but every game, here's a picture of how it looks in the first inning. Here's a picture of how it looks in the third inning. Can you just give us your thought on the vibes of the fan base, the city, when you're standing there at third base and Tyler Soderstrom hits his fifth home run on the game? Give us a feeling on how the vibes are in Sutter Health Park.
Oh, it's electric, man. I'm not going to lie. Sac has always supported their teams back to when I played here, and then and with the Kings. So, I mean, it's a vibe, man. It really is. The crowds have been great. They've been electric. They've been into it. We're waiting to get our first W here. The first series, like I said, man, it wasn't a good look for us, man, unfortunately.
Right.
But it's not who we are and what kind of team we are, but they supported us that first series. They came out last night, Sody hits those homers. The lights are coming off. The music's blasting. I mean, there's a good vibe here, man. There really is. There's electricity in the crowd. It feels good out there, man. Even though it's intimate, they're on you and they're into it. So it's been outstanding.
We talked a little bit last week about the ballpark and how true it's going to play, and the ball's just flying out of everywhere. Tatis hit a ball. I don't know if it's landed quite yet, Eric. Luis Severino got interviewed after the game, and he said, the ball's flying a little bit. That's something we're going to have to adjust to. Can you tell the people what he kind of means by that? Does that mean, hey, if we're going to miss at home, we're going to miss low. We can't let these guys get that launch angle going and catch something into this jet stream when you see the flags flying out of here.
Yeah, it's something that we're going to have to get used to, and the staff's going to do a good job of doing that. We got a good defense. We got to get the ball on the ground, and Sevy, look, he battled his butt off yesterday. Tough first inning, and then he dealt. He made one bad pitch to Tatis, but you know what? That ball Tatis hit would have got out of anywhere, so it doesn't even really matter what park you're playing in. So there's going to be days where this ball is going to fly out of here. There's other times where it's going to play a little true, but it still is a little bit small, you know what I mean, in terms of other stadiums. But we play in other stadiums that are small as well. So it's no different than going and playing in Cincinnati or places where the ball travels. Still got to go out, execute pitches, play good defense, and find a way to get a barrel to the ball. So it's going to be a little bit for them to get used to as well, because, coming from Oakland, that place was so big and cavernous. Yeah. You can make some mistakes and get away with it. We're here. They're going to let you know.
Right. Talking to Eric Martins, third base coach for the Athletics, brought to you by Roxas Technology Solutions. We talked about Tyler Soderstrom a little bit, and I want to get into it a little bit more. Second time he's hit 2 home runs in one game. What are you seeing from him at the plate right now? He's dialed in, it looks like.
He's dialed in right now, and that's what he was, man. I mean, that's why he was drafted where he was drafted and where we took him. He was always an offensive bat that could catch. And we saw glimpses of it last year, and unfortunately, when he was getting a good run, he got injured. So now he's just taking advantage now and being the guy that we know he could be. I mean, he's always been able to hit. That's what we got him for. That's the reason why we drafted him. And he's starting to show now. You're seeing the maturity of Tyler Soderstrom as well. You're seeing him take really good at bats, lefties, righties. It doesn't matter. I mean, if it's a statement with us. If you're a left-handed hitter, and they start a lefty and you're still in the lineup. So that says a lot about what he's doing. So proud of his progress offensively and defensively. And you're just starting to see the surface of what he can do.
As we continue to go around the field here, a guy that I've been really high on and just excited to see what happens, got a little bit held up last season due to injury, but Jacob Wilson. Okay, I keep telling people, you don't realize how lucky you are if you're a fan base and you have a stud shortstop. These guys are so many every year. Eric, you were a scout. This is our savior. This is our next shortstop savior, and it doesn't work out. They get moved to the outfield, whatever it is. Talk to us about how important Jacob Wilson is to the present and the future of this A's organization.
I'll tell you what, man. I mean, all this guy has done since we drafted him is hit. And he's doing it right now, and he came out in the draft as a guy that can touch the ball, find a way to put barrel to the ball, get his hits, and play solid defense. And as a shortstop in the big leagues, you got to be able to play solid defense. It starts up the middle. It starts with your center fielder, your shortstop, your catcher, and obviously starting pitching and relief pitching. And what he's done to go out there and improve from last year to this year is a testament to his hard work that he put in this offseason. There are some things that he needed to work on, but we forget that last year was his first full season in pro ball, and he got to the big leagues.
Right.
So, he didn't really realize the demands of playing in the big leagues every day and what it entails when you get up here. It's a lot of hard work. These guys get in here at noon before a 7 o'clock game and get their workouts in and early work, hitting the cage and do all the stuff before the game. And I don't think he realized that, even though his dad played for, 17 years. Him experiencing it himself, he needed to go through that, and he worked his butt off this offseason, and you're seeing the rewards of what he did this offseason to improve.
I got to check real quick here, Eric. The torpedo bats. Will there be torpedo bats in Sutter Health? Are they already there? I haven't seen anything yet.
You know what, man? I'm going to keep that in-house. There might be a couple floating around. There might be a couple that were used for BP yesterday. I don't know. And maybe maybe they like them. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, I like what I hear. Especially in that ballpark. We're gonna be doing some damage out there, right up on that hill.
I'll tell you what, man. There'll be a lot of handshakes and a lot of. I iced my shoulder after a game, sending all these runners home. So
I'll tell you, and I'd love to see that as well. As we talk about Jacob Wilson, back in my day, Eric, when I was playing, the launch angle stuff hadn't really taken off yet, right? And it was get the bat to the ball, the Joe Morgans of the world, guys like that, just get on base. When you see Jacob Wilson, is he one of a kind, or are you starting to see maybe a shift back in that direction of, hey, let's not strike out as much? Or is this more a specific Jacob Wilson thing?
Well, it's funny. It's a great question, and it's a great opportunity to say that you're seeing probably one of the best right now with the Padres with Luis Ariz. He's won multiple batting titles. He hits the ball everywhere, never strikes out. He's hard to defend. He's hard to defend against because he can just put the ball wherever he wants. And now you see Jacob Wilson, who just finds a way to get hits, man. I mean, this guy can slap a ball to right. He can, he's hit a homer this year. He's turned on a couple balls. He fights balls through the middle. He finds way to get hits, and he has just great bat to ball skills. And Luis Ariz for the Padres is one of the best in the game right now. And you're seeing two guys that that are very similar. Not putting Jacob Wilson in Luis Ariz category yet because he's still got time to get there. But yeah, I mean, you're starting to see a launch angle. A few years back, even when I did the hitting, was real prevalent. People were trying to get these guys to get the ball in the air. Well, guess what? Pitchers combated that. They started elevating on them. They started getting right on their fastball. So now you have to find a way to adjust to these fastballs at the top of the zone. You can't have launch angle with 98-mile-an-hour fastball at your belt. It's not going to work. So now guys are trying to figure it out and trying to get over the baseball a little bit more and figure that out. But what Jacob Wilson does is special, man. I mean, he just finds a way to fight pitches off and get his hits and, put the ball in play. And, that's good for our team because we got some sluggers. We just need him to get off stuff when the opportunity is given to him.
Eric Martins, before we get you out of here for our debut, our first coaches show here on the Allen Stiles Show, brought to you by Rocks Technology Solutions. Before we get you out of here, obviously you want to win every game. But we talk about how young this team is, whether it's Soderstrom, who's 23, and Jacob Wilson. You have some vets on the team as well. But is there a level of, hey, we want to win these games, but we also want them to keep growing, keep learning. And there is maybe a spot in the season where it's, okay, now we need to start getting going here. Are we still early on where these are learning experiences and we want to win these games, but we understand how young we are versus you get closer to All-Star break? Hey, now these moral victories and these good games, we need to actually put some W's in that column.
We're kind of in between. You know what I mean? Last couple of years, we took our lumps. But those last few years, we started to form a group and a culture and a group of guys that we knew that we were going to be moving forward with that are going to be our future. So we were able to take our lumps the last couple of years and learn on those moments and teaching moments. Now, there's a higher level of expectation on our team this year. Not only from us, from media, people know we're going to be better. They know we can hit. So these guys have taken that next step and are able to understand that, look, we got to go out there and we got to play well every single day. We're not going to just go out there, roll out the bats and score 20 runs every single game. We're going to go out there and we're going to pitch. We're going to have to defend when those days where our bats aren't alive. So it's one of those things now we expect to win when we go out there. Our goal is to win every series. You're not going to go 162-0, but if you can win more series than not, then you put yourself in a good place to be where you want to be at the end of the year. So these guys, last year was a good learning year. They saw how good we really could be, and there's an expectation level that they have now that we want to go out and beat those teams. You look at the Padres, man; they're 7-2 this year, one of the best teams coming in the league, and we had them last night and played them really, really well. So these guys know